Here with the monster, Kyle Nelson, back in action. How happy are you to get another fight so soon after your last one?
I'm very excited. This year's been great for me. Fighting in February, then in June, and now again in September, and hopefully again before the end of the year, if not the beginning of next year, with maybe a UFC Canada.
Well, with Blake Builder back in Vancouver, how much did that fight mean to you to get that win? I know that you were staying in the USADA testing pool for basically 2 years during the pandemic, even though you didn't really have a UFC contract because you wanted to stay in the UFC. They gave you the opportunity, and of course, you took advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the Blake Builder fight was, just all of my hard work finally coming together. I felt like in all my UFC fights, I showcased some of my skill, and then just everything didn't come together perfectly. Whereas in the Blake Builder fight, even the Korean Superboy fight, I think everything came together well. Just need a little more output and stuff in the fight, but in the Blake Builder fight, everything came together, and then we've only built upon that. So I think we're going to see even better performance.
Lots of building involved.
Yep.
Builder built. Lots of building involved in the
Yep.
Kyle Nelson camp. So what's it been like seeing such great gyms in Southern Ontario kind of all band together to really have the cream rise to the top? We're seeing such great fighters come out of Niagara Top Team, of course, your gym BTC, and a lot of other camps coming out of Southern Ontario.
Yeah, yeah, House of Champions and then Muskoka Martial Arts.
House of Champions is where you're trained.
Yes,
That's
yeah,
what I meant to say.
yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, I think that's what's needed. Some kind of older school kind of martial arts artists get in this mindset where like you only train at one gym, you don't travel, you don't diversify. But I think with the way we've all been traveling to spar together, everyone from we got guys at PFL, Bellator, UFC, everybody coming together to get better, because I mean we're not really competing against each other. Most of us are traveling again down here to Vegas, to all over the states, England, Mexico. So I think it's great that as martial artists we can come together and get better.
I think it's cool also because gyms tend to get competitive. Like a lot of people are trying to kind of figure out what their turf is, so to speak, in the landscape of mixed martial arts gyms. But I really love seeing the community aspect of all of these gyms, like even Aegis MMA, all of them kind of coming together to really help build everybody up for the big show.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think it's doing great things for Canadian mixed martial arts. Obviously, with UFC Vancouver, we went 6-0 as Canadians, so I mean something's going right.
Who gave you your best rounds in this camp?
Oh, it's hard. I mean, we got so many good guys. I mean, train with Mike Malott, especially because his height, helped, me get prepared for Fernando Padilla. But I mean, Anthony Romero is always great. Aaron Jeffrey, he's a little bit bigger, but I love to get around in here and there with him. And even guys at, some smaller guys like Benabi Oturo at House of Champions gets to move around a lot, because sometimes guys, like to move a lot when they're fighting me. So yeah, I mean, just great training partners all around.
The last card that you were on was built around Canadian fighters for the most part. First Canadian card back. This is UFC Noche, based on Hispanic fighters. And Fernando Padilla, your opponent, obviously of that heritage. Does that give you a little bit more pressure going into this one?
No, not at all. Generally the cards are built around my opponents. I mean, I fought in UFC Mexico before, so that was a pretty, Mexican heavy card. I expect this one to be, pretty similar, if not the exact same. And, my last performance in Mexico went well, and I expect this one too as well.
That was the Polo Reyes fight, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so you can kind of draw off of that and say, hey, I can play spoiler here.
Yep, absolutely.
Well, it's a pleasure catching up with you, Kyle. Best of luck on Saturday, and look forward to seeing you continue to do your thing.
Yeah, thanks a lot, and thank you everybody for tuning in. Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you.
All right.